Hey, it's Martin. We're here today and we're gonna unbox this Ooni Koda 16 and then we're gonna bake some pizzas. Come along, let's enjoy this awesome oven. It's got everything that we need to make great pizza, except pans, good flour, sauce, cheese, etc. So let's open this thing up and see what we got. For dough today, I'm just using the recipe off the back of the bag of our 00 flour. It's a great, simple recipe. You mix the dough and then you let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. You divide, let it rest, and then bake with it. What I like to do is to mix the dough, let it ferment, and then divide and round it, and then I put it onto a sheet tray and I put it back into the fridge for the sort of period of relaxation where the dough relaxes to get to where you can shape it into a nice round. On shaping, as always, I'm avoiding this sort of edge crust because I want that to puff some. And I like to turn it some. Most of the work with shaping pizza is actually done with pressing, not throwing or stretching. It's mostly pressing. You can get it most of the way. If the dough is properly relaxed, you can get most of the size you want just from pressing. And then once I feel like it's most of the way there, then I might pick it up and just let it stretch some. You can let gravity do the work if you want. The back of your hand, let it sort of stretch and fall. Alternatively, you can sort of hold just the edge and just stretch and set it down, stretching and setting. Either one works. Okay, set that aside, get your peel. And I'm using just a little bit of semolina on the peel. And if you find yourself with a little bit of sauce or something like that from the previous one, make sure you get rid of that. You don't want any of that on your peel. I just noticed that I had some, so I'll just wipe it off real quickly. Make sure you have a dry peel. So back with a little bit of semolina. And then onto the peel. Once you go on the peel, you know, you sort of have like this ticking thing, this event that needs to happen quickly. So don't let it sit on the peel too long. That's one way that a lot of people get some sticking, is by letting things just hang out on the peel too long. Once that dough is on the peel, you want to get it sauced and into the oven. Okay, so this is the very first pizza we've made in this oven, and it looks good so far. You know, first pizza is like kind of like first pancake. You're getting a sense of the oven. You're getting your hands warmed up for the day in terms of how you're shaping. You're seeing how much sauce you need. You're getting a sense of how quickly the oven is going to bake today. I got a little bit extra semolina on the back of the oven, and it's going to create a little bit of smoke. That's okay. These are the things that sort of you go through in the warm-up process with making pizza. But basically, what I'm thinking about right now is like, don't leave. This isn't one of those things where you put it in the oven and walk away. You have to stay here and watch it. You're dealing with such high heat that if you walk away, there's a chance that you're going to burn it. So just stay here, be with the oven, and watch this gorgeous pizza bake. Okay, so at about 30 to 60 seconds, that's when I am really looking to make sure that everything is okay. And you're going to be thinking about the side that's furthest away from the opening of the oven. Along that back and left side as you're looking into the oven. You want to keep an eye on that. So what I recommend is after about 30 to 60 seconds, you want to go ahead and check and see if you need to rotate. And so I do that with the peel. I just go in, scoop it up, and actually take it out and look and see. And it's like, okay, so far so good. We're doing okay. So I can go back in. So what's key here is to know that a lot of the baking, or the most rapid baking, is happening on the far side of the pizza. So you want to rotate almost constantly once you get most of your bake done. So this is fully baked and the bottom crust looks great. I think first pizza, first pancake, I think we're good to go. This looks great. I'm going to finish it with a little bit of basil and just a little bit of cheese. It looks good. We're going to do better, but I think it looks pretty good. Make sure that the pizza is floating on the peel, and then go ahead and get it in. In terms of where you position it in the oven, I recommend starting sort of away from the heat if you can. So think of using that sort of right-hand zone of the oven as opposed to the left-hand zone, which is really close to the heat element. So 30 seconds in, and I'm gonna go in with my peel, lift it up, and just give it a rotation. So I'm going to put that side that's baking quickly away from the heat, and I'm going to let that side that hasn't really started to color yet be closer. We'll see how we're doing. Pretty good, but not burning, which is what I want. This looks good. It's puffing well. Put it back in. Okay. We're approaching about the 2-minute mark with this pizza, and we're getting into that zone where what I want to do is really sort of have my face right there watching what's going on, because we're at this critical point where it's really easy to burn things. And so at that juncture, what I want to do is just go in and make sure that I'm rotating it. I'm looking for any spots which are a little bit light, like this side looks a little bit light to me. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to move this side, which is darkening pretty heavily, away from that hot heat again. Go back in. So we're about 3 minutes in. I've got good color. It's dark in spots, but I don't feel like it's burning. I'm happy with this level of bake for the top, and I just want to check the bottom. It looks great. That's exactly what I want. So if I had baked this at the hottest temp that this oven can produce, the bottom wouldn't be as crisp as I would like. I want a nice crisp bottom crust, and I want really well-cooked toppings and or top crust. And so that's the tip here. Start hot and then cool it off while you're baking, so that you really give that bottom crust time to cook. You're sort of equalizing things. This is gonna be a good one, Tucker. Okay, so big tips. Start hot, bake at a cooler temperature. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You're not gonna burn as much. Tip 2, watch it really closely. Don't leave. Like I said before, this is like watching your kid take its first steps. Like, be there in that moment with that pizza as it's baking so that you don't burn it, right? Tip number 3, between bakes of the pizza, let the oven recharge. It needs a moment to come back up to heat. So crank it and then let it reheat before you load again. So hopefully this video on unboxing the Ooni, firing it up, and baking some pizzas has been helpful. If you're looking for more content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel and also our blog for additional tips on how to use these great ovens. They've become part of my sort of baking and cooking world. I hope that you have an opportunity to pick one up and try it out yourself. Cheers and happy baking, and let's make some more pizza. Baking with fire, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's anything better. Live fire baking, live fire cooking, I don't think there's anything better. Cheers.